Hi Aquarius, how's it going? Where I'm seeing us start off with in the energy is with a couple different possible variations of things. One thing that you can be moving through right now is connecting with yourself on the emotional front. There can be some stuff that you're processing. If that is the case, it feels like more so kind of keeping this to yourself. That can also mean that you're more privately looking into things. You can be reflecting. It can be something that maybe you don't feel like you're ready to talk about. What this can also mean too is that you can be tuning in more when it comes to your intuition or anything spiritual or esoteric. That can be something that's being focused on. We are starting off with the Fool. Fool is connected with having something new going on that you are exploring. It can be a different way that you're approaching things. It can be something new that you are starting. It doesn't have to be a thing when it comes to like a project or a relationship, even though it can be focused on you wanting to live in a way that feels authentic to you. And if there's anything that you've been keeping yourself from, holding yourself back from, that you feel your soul is like, I want to express this or I want to explore this, it can really be the time that you're doing this. Even if it's just like a new way of doing things or like a new way of living or a new perspective that you're embracing, that can be part of it too. I'm seeing there be a lot of energy that's being put into this. So it's something new that you have going on. Again, even if it's just like a mindset or like a new philosophy, a way that you're approaching things. And you can even be feeling more adventurous. I am seeing the Lovers coming out here. So a relationship can be involved in this. It can be your relationships in general as well. Okay. Interesting. We have 3 out of the 4 Knights here. Knights are connected with there being a lot of movement. So first we have the Knight of Wands, which is the part of you that's really connected with your instinct and tuned into that and wanting to move. We feel inspired, we feel excited, hopefully not expired. Then we also have Knight of Pentacles, which is more about building structures. When it comes to the Knight of Wands, this is like feeling excited about something and can feel like a more spontaneous energy of what we want to be connecting with. And I'm seeing there be this like craving and desire, looking for a sense of excitement, a sense of newness, things feeling fresh. Even if you're approaching an old situation, it feels like a different way that you are approaching things and wanting to make sure that you're doing it in earnest. Seeing the Lovers here, there can be a focus on a relationship that's being approached, but I get it in like a new or different way. So even if this is somebody that you've been dealing with, it feels like you are showing up differently because you're in a different place with yourself. And so you can even have every intention of maybe doing something solid here and building from a place that really feels aligned truly with the way that you feel. I'm not seeing you be bored by this situation. I'm not seeing it be something where you're like, I'm only doing this from a place of obligation. I'm seeing it be more so like you actually want to be here. You want to be doing this. You're really following your heart. You could even feel kind of vulnerable in the way that you're doing things because of just how much you're giving yourself permission to be yourself. But at the same time, you can be like, what other way really is there to be doing this? You can be dealing with somebody in an earth archetype. This can also be the place that you're into. I see, yeah. I'm getting this as well for you. So even if this is a role that you've been playing, whether it's a new role that you're stepping into or it's one that you've played before, I'm seeing you approach this differently than you ever have before. So there's something that is different about it no matter which way you cut it. Some of you, I am seeing somebody that you're dealing with. This looks like somebody that you've been dealing with. This doesn't feel like a new person or a new relationship, but it does feel like, it feels like a different situation, I think, because of the way that you're showing up now at this point. Maybe also, too, you want to be building in a way that feels exciting to you, where there's a balance between like what's appropriate and what you want and what your goals are and what you're feeling to, rather than being like, I have to pick either being obligated to something or doing things that I find exciting. It feels like there's a marrying of these energies here. And that this is something that you want to be doing. It's something that when you connect with yourself, you do feel excited about it. There does feel like there's a feeling of like vulnerability within this, because I see no mask at all. This feels very genuine, the way that you're showing up. That's why it even feels like things can maybe feel different with the way that they're unfolding within the dynamic. It feels too like not getting too ahead of yourself. That's part of things too, but also not holding yourself back from connecting with your excitement and passion, and that you are moving forward with things. But it does feel like kind of figuring out how to work with these different parts of yourself that sometimes even feel like they're going in all different directions sometimes, and getting the energy to work together rather than working against itself. I get the feeling of this being something that you feel connected with this, you feel sentimental about it, and even though whatever this is, it feels different for some reason, at the same time, it doesn't feel totally foreign to you. So even though you can be doing things and exploring things in a new and different way, there is something about this that you feel familiar with. So there's a mix of both of these energies here, where there is a familiarity or a feeling of home within this, yet it feels like you feel different or you feel new with the way that you are approaching things. And that this can even feel more heartfelt and more in tune with you on like a whole level, like as a whole, rather than feeling, I don't know, maybe before you felt like you were making moves and had to pick and choose pieces and parts of yourself that could show up. This feels much more integrated to me. And maybe that's the factor that's different now. Like maybe you're like, I'm not going to close out or shut out these pieces of myself or only let some of myself filter through. I'm going to take that filter off and I'm going to wholly be showing up here in a way that I hadn't necessarily been doing before, because I know my choices when it comes to what I'm doing and how I'm showing up in these roles that I'm playing, it's important to me. So I see even like a lot of self compromising, but not in a way where it feels like you're settling. This feels more so like, how do I integrate all of these pieces of me so I can actually feel fully happy and satisfied with what I'm doing and what I'm choosing. And this can be something as well where maybe you're figuring out the priorities that you have now, and it can be a little bit of a different approach than what you've been doing before. Like maybe something about that has shifted. Some of you are also working with, it can be transiting Uranus or it can be the Uranus within your chart. I'm seeing there be a connection with that. I am really seeing like what you're going for is a sense of deeper connection, and one that feels really true for you. Like it's something you just like automatically feel, and that you're not shying away from that. And feeling even like capable of showing up because you're connected with your personal power too. And it also seems like when it comes to the things that you're putting your energy into right now, there is this checking and making sure that it's worthwhile to you, whatever it is. So you don't feel like you're doing something and then you feel disconnected, or you're doing something and you feel like you're settling and not really getting what you need. I'm seeing there be a focus that you're making sure that you're showing up for situations that feel compatible in some way. And maybe that's also something that's changed too. Like maybe it was something that I just get more of a sense of like learning how to move in situations and make sure that you're getting the balance right in a way that like maybe wasn't fully happening before. So it feels even like more of a sense of awareness. And I'm seeing you also feel deeply connected with what it is that you are manifesting and touching base with now. And it feels like when it comes to the relationship between what you feel, how you feel, and the action that you take, something about that is deeply changing within your life. So it can be like your relationship with your feelings, and also then what you are doing in 3D as a reflection of that relationship, which doesn't even have to do necessarily with what you're feeling, but how you feel about what you're feeling, how accepting of those things you are, or how averse to those things you are, and how that shows up when it comes to the moves that you make. So it's like maybe more so about like honoring your feelings in a genuine way when maybe that wasn't necessarily happening before, because there could have been like a pushing down that was happening before, or a neglecting maybe of what it was that you were feeling, or like placing importance on other things and then not considering that. So I'm seeing like whatever it may be, and this can also be your like mental health and wellness as well. It doesn't only have to be with your feelings. It doesn't only have to be with your emotions, which feelings and emotions slightly different, but emotions kind of fall under the umbrella of your feelings. So when it comes to all the stuff that's going on the inside, and your relationship with that part of yourself, that very intimate part of yourself, that very raw part of yourself, something about the way that you're moving through life is changing, because that aspect of your relationship with yourself is also going through a huge undertaking, a huge transformation currently, where you can be like even psychologically understanding things like maybe on a different level. This can be, I get just like a deeper insight and a deeper connection, and maybe like willingness to look at everything, maybe even the more difficult stuff to look at, or the darker stuff to look at, or the more like hidden or repressed things that you're taking a closer look at. And evaluating, I think, like the roles that you're playing. And this can be in many different areas of your life. I think there's a focus right now on how you're showing up within your relationships and how you actually feel about that, and including how you feel about that into your process. Something that can feel important to you now too is that you want to feel good about yourself, and you want to... This is reminding me a bit of a reading that I did the other day, which was about like really how to feel good about yourself and the things that you're doing. I'm trying to like pull something from that may feel relevant for this. Anything having to do with, I think, like your integrity, your self-respect, your self-expression, your genuine likes, dislikes, preferences, these things, that can be what's popping up. Because I was seeing Queen of Wands be connected with Two of Pentacles. So what that means is that we are focusing on the things that are connected with the archetype within us that is the Queen of Wands. And the part of us that's the Queen of Wands, this is a part of us that's connected with recognizing our value and not taking things that are less than that. It's about understanding, rather than like minimizing ourselves in some way to be more palatable, it is about recognizing your value and seeing like whether situations, people, places can handle that or not, and whether they can or not seeing that as a reflection of yourself and not changing in a way that you feel like minimizes your energy somehow or your self-expression somehow. So understanding that like you're going to be showing up regardless in a way that feels authentic to you, and you're not going to make yourself small, because Queen of Wands is not going to be doing it. So it can be like, I want to focus on things that allow me to feel good about myself. And this is not in a superficial way. This is like deeply in a way where I truly honor myself when I'm showing up in a way that is real to me, and I am truly connected with my decisions that I'm making within my life. That's when I'm feeling best, like with myself and about myself, because I feel like I'm fully showing up. So you can be focusing on things that really enhance that aspect of your connection with yourself, rather than, I think like a Queen of Wands reversed, or like the opposite of this energy, would kind of be like a pick-me energy. It would be sort of like, oh, you don't like that, I'm going to change that about myself then. This is not the energy of the Queen of Wands. That can be more like a shadow Queen of Cups energy. But when it comes to Queen of Wands, this is like, I'm going to stand in my power regardless of who recognizes that or doesn't. I'm going to stand within my preferences regardless of who recognizes that and who doesn't. I'm not going to dim my light for anybody, regardless of who recognizes that, regardless of who likes that or how people feel about it. It's about showing up in that way and not apologizing for being yourself ultimately, and not like hiding away, I suppose. So yeah, those can be, you can be like focusing and prioritizing on things that empower that aspect of your relationship with yourself, having to do with authentic self-expression and enhancing like a good, healthy relationship between you and yourself. And I think really like your gut and your instinct, which does come down to, I think a lot of the times like our sacral energy and solar plexus. And sacral is going to have to do with your preferences, your likes and your dislikes, like what you feel drawn to and what you feel like polarized by. And then your solar plexus is going to be standing in your power and your self-expression and knowing that that is innate. And that's a really important key part of solar plexus energy. Because when solar plexus is blocked, we can feel like we get into power struggles because we're seeking this power that we feel disconnected from within us. When you have regulated solar plexus energy, you don't seek power because you're connected with your innate power, your innate personal power already. So you don't get caught up in power struggles or feeling like you need to like prove yourself or whatever. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.